Hello, everyone, and welcome to Magic Month of January. I can't believe the year has ended. That's amazing. If you don't know Magic Month, then it is an energy forecast show that gives you channeled, astrological, seasonal insights to the month ahead so that you can use the information to align, to understand the processes that you are going through, to manifest, to heal, to live your best month, your most magical month. And this month, always in the January one, we also do a little bit of an overview of the year ahead, and so we'll also be looking into 2024. If you haven't met me before, my name is Karila, and I am really so excited and happy to be here because 24 is epic. It is showtime. We are here. It's very astrologically exciting. Hi to those of you that are coming in, that are listening live, and just to say I absolutely love Magic Month to be co-creative, so please bring your own knowledge, share your own wisdom, express, ask questions, chat in the chat box, and co-create this webinar with me. So let's begin with a short meditation just to become more present. And as you close your eyes, and take some big, nourishing, full breaths. Really celebrating your breath, your in-breath, and your out-breath. And let your breath bring you in towards your center. And as you connect to your center, connect to the light, the golden thread of light that runs through your center. And give yourself a few moments to meditate on your inner golden thread. Which is your direct connection to Source. And allowing yourself your whole body to be aware of this light, which is the truth of who you are. And as you connect to the truth of who you are in this moment, notice that this light is spreading in all directions through you. And that this light is muting all of the noise that isn't the truth of who you are. Inside of you. All of the noise that was projected onto you. All of the noise of your inner voice. All of the noise of yesterday and tomorrow. All of it being hushed. By this inner light of truth. Inviting the noise of the year that is ending. And the noise of the new year. To also meet this light. to meet this truth. As you breathe in love, and breathe out gratitude. And notice who you are. And when you're ready, opening your eyes. Coming into the room. And I would love to hear from any of you about how you're doing. How are you after that meditation? And I will say that, you know, I say this often for the January magic month, but my guidance is that the real year cycle, the kind of actual new year, is more aligned with Imbolc and the Chinese New Year, which is the start of February. And what January is a bridge month. It's a month that helps us prepare or move in, like out of the old year and into the new year. And so it's a transitional month every year. That's my guidance on it. And what is so exciting about this month is when I've tuned into it and when I've looked at the astrology, it's a map of the year. It's a map of what's coming, and you'll see that when we talk about the longer year. It's really showing us what this year is all about, and the word is change. That is the word. That is what 24 is all about. Change. Physical, actualized, big, embodied change. It's also about the move from Capricorn to Aquarius, which happens in part in January. We'll go into that in a minute. It is absolutely about embodiment and full feeling and full truth and sovereignty. It's powerful. And yeah, it's exciting. So let's go into the forecast for the month. So the first thing, and I often say this on Magic Month, but the first thing that happens in the month is usually the like sign for it's kind of like sets the scene. It's like, this is what this month is about. Here's the taster. Here's the key. Here's the clue to this month. And the first thing that happens on the 2nd of January is Mercury retrograde ends. And Mercury retrograde is something that apparently we all really, really struggle with. You know, everybody talks about Mercury retrograde more than anything else. And when Mercury retrogrades, so Mercury is the planet that rules communication and travel and technology and the way we connect and the way we communicate. In a way, it's the planet of traveling and relationship. And so in Mercury retrograde, loads of things go wrong. Like things that are easy suddenly don't work, like transport and computers and things like that. And there's this roundaboutness to the flow. It's like nothing flows easily, you know? And so when Mercury retrograde is over, we get clarity and direction and flow and this feeling of like the hassly struggle. When I was tuning into this being the first thing of 24, I was like, wow, you know, the discomfort, the annoyance, the frustration of Mercury retrograde. If we make that macro, as this is the first astrological event that sets the scene for January and the whole of 24, it's like maybe the complaining and the like annoying struggle, the thing that like makes ascension feel disjointed, the feeling of being out of the flow, ends in 24. You know, that kind of complainy, oh, it's not working, things are going round in circles and they're just breaking down. That this is a sign that this shifts for you in 24. And so when you're thinking about your intentions, I would really tune into like, what is it that I need to shift in myself to have less of that complaininess. And the reason I keep saying complaining is because I had a really powerful message earlier this year that like when we complain, it's because we don't want to change. And this year's all about change. And Mercury goes direct in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is like free-spirited, but really, really directed, you know, path and celebration and that kind of horsepower, forward, fiery motion. And so it's a really, really beautiful start to the year and a suggestion that maybe there's a bit more ease within the flow. And then on January 4th, we have Mars entering into Capricorn. And this is really important because it's like the first of a load of Capricorn things that happen at the beginning of January. And so, you know, after this kind of free from the retrograde, the next thing that happens is Mars, which is the warrior, enters Capricorn. And Capricorn is the energy of making it up the mountain. You know, the whole principle of Capricorn is you will get there in the end. The Capricorn is like the goat can kind of perform miracles in terms of getting to the top of the mountain. It's like you will work hard. It will take a long time. It requires perseverance, but you will get there in the end. And so on January 4th, there is this warrior energy entering that make it up that mountain determination. And so this is super supportive. Usually January is not supportive, but this year it is like set intention, make vision boards, set goals, because these energies are really, really supportive of that. So it's a really powerful time to manifest, to set intention, to initiate. For me personally, it's amazing because the 4th is when my mountain journey begins, which I'll talk to you about. So I'm like, it's so aligned. And then on the 11th, we have the new moon also in Capricorn. And so the new moon in Capricorn is all about focus and making decisions. The moon squares off with the nodes, and so on the new moon, and it's a 111, I might point out, because it's 11-1, we have this square. The nodes are connected to destiny. They in astrology teach us our destiny. And so again, there's this message of like, this year you're going to make it up your mountain. You're going to meet your destiny. Like you might have to struggle a bit with it, but you're going to do it. You know, it's achievable. That's what Capricorn is all about. It's about making it possible. And also it's about trusting your destiny. I would say that to me, January feels like it's mapping the whole year, the first moon of the year, it's like what it's saying is you might have to do this with faith, with that goat faith. I don't know if you've ever seen pictures of goats where there's like no ledge and they're like on the mountain. It's like there might be that element of needing goat faith and determination and that just ability to do it on faith alone. But if you do, you will. If you focus, you will. It is your destiny, and it's about meeting your destiny in the climb up the mountain. And so, again, with the intentions for the year and with the manifestations on the first new moon of the year, it's all about, because it's a new moon, it's also, the year is starting with a new moon. This isn't a year for completion. This is a year for beginnings. And those big destiny, top of the mountain beginnings. So it's a really powerful time, the start of January, to be connected to what you actually want. That like, what's your greatest destiny? What's your best life? That you are willing to climb the mountain for, that you are willing to be responsible for. Capricorn in a way is a lot about responsibility. Capricorn is about responsibility, which is my new favorite thing, and so it's just about kind of claiming, okay, I take responsibility for the big picture of my life. It's a really powerful thing to be doing at the start of January. And then on the 13th, Mercury also joins Capricorn. So, we've started with Mercury coming out of retrograde. And again, it's like on the 13th, it's like Mercury's communication. And so it's like find the top of the mountain of your communication. Can you speak with more fullness of truth, with the courage of truth? Can you, everything about these early Capricorn things in January, like, get it together. It's a little bit like the sky is like, sort your shit out, And so it's like on every level, in your path action, in your intentions, and in your words, in your thoughts, words, and actions, sort it out. Line up. That's the key. This year is all about lining up. And so we start in Capricorn, and that's what's so amazing about this particular sky map in January, is because the first part of the year, the first part of the month, which represents in a way the beginning of the year, or where we are at now, is all Capricorn, Capricorn, Capricorn. And then we have one of the most important astrological events of not just the year, of the ascension process into Aquarius. Because on the 20th of January, Pluto moves in to Aquarius. And it's the second time it's happening before it happens permanently. The first time it happened was in March 23. And Pluto moving into Aquarius is pivotal. Like, every astrologer is like, that is the big, now we are in Aquarius moment. Because Pluto only moves signs every 25 years. And Pluto only, so Pluto only, when Pluto moves signs, because 25 years, that's like a quarter of your life more. It's big. And Pluto is the planet of transformation. So wherever Pluto is, like there's transformation happening in that area. And Pluto has been in Capricorn for the last 25 years. And Pluto in Capricorn, so Pluto is about transformation and also about shadow and death and rebirth. And Pluto in Capricorn is all about top-down power. And so in the last 25 years, on a personal level, we've been exploring top-down power. We've been exploring where our head overtakes our heart and our bellies. We have, on a macro level, been at the mercy of the shadow of top-down power in so many ways. And Pluto moving into Aquarius is a totally different energy from that, that Capricorn energy. The shadow of it is like, I'll do anything. Like, I will use all of the resources to get to the top of the mountain. And so Pluto in Aquarius is a totally different engine. It's a totally different filter. It's totally different. And Pluto in Aquarius, so every planetary aspect has this like huge range, and there is really, really positive sides to Pluto in Aquarius, and there are negative sides. And I'm going to come on to both because it's so important, I think, in January to understand both so that you can choose, so that you can make your highest choice. But the other thing that happens on the 20th of January, and I have to say that the 20th of January is the day that I leave my mountain journey, and so the land work that I'm about to do is so aligned astrologically, it's just making me want to cry. Even on the 13th, every date of January is significant to me personally and the work I'm doing. And so on the 20th of January as well, there is a once in a lifetime Pluto Kazimi, and I never know if I say that right, but Kazimi, the reason it's once in a lifetime is Pluto will be forming a perfect conjunction with the Sun in the last degree of Capricorn, which is known as a Kazimi, and it's the last Kazimi to take place in Capricorn in this lifetime. And so what happens, the Sun's in Capricorn as well, and what happens is this Kazimi, the Sun is truth, and Pluto is death and rebirth. And this, to me, when I tune into it, is like, that is the death of that top-down power that we have been inside of structurally within ourselves and within the collective. Like, the truth is going to override the distortions of top-down power, the shadows of top-down power. And this is like it's like a climax astrologically. It is like an orgasm or a big bang or an explosion. It is a release of old energy and an integration of all of the good stuff. And it's a shift it's the completion of a build-up of pressure. And literally hours later, Pluto enters Aquarius. So this is like the death, the death of the old world, or it's part of the death of the old world. And then Pluto, literally hours later, I think it's like 11 hours later, enters Aquarius. And the next day, the Sun also moves. And I just want to speak about because remember, January's preparation month, it's bridge month. And I really feel like, what all of this is showing is like, you're in Capricorn reality at the beginning, and by the end, you're in Aquarian reality. You know, the 24 and 25 astrologically are, as one amazing astrologer described it, unheard of in terms of the levels of change that are going to happen. And so Pluto enters Aquarius, and I just want to talk about the range. So the positive of Pluto, actually, let's go shadow first. The bad side of Pluto and Aquarius is like technology takes over. It's like AI has war on humanity, and it is oneness. So the shadow of oneness is like lemming mentality, like nobody thinking for themselves, everybody just following what they're told to do. Okay, that's the lowest vibrational version of Pluto in Aquarius. The highest vibrational version of Pluto in Aquarius is sovereignty in oneness. And so when that exists, when you have self fully actualized, fully realized, when you have sovereign people in oneness, then you get literally the golden age. So you have technology supporting humanity's creation and creativity and spirituality. You have people in collaboration. You have kindness and community. You have this totally altruistic, authentic, community-based way of being. And why this is so important is because it is all down. The difference between that horrendous lemming version and the community, beautiful humanity in collaboration version is sovereignty. It is your ability to know yourself and your truth is everything. And this is happening right in the middle of the month. You know, with the Pluto Kazimi, it's like your truth is everything. Being able to know yourself and voice yourself and be sovereign in this oneness is the difference between what to me is like heaven and hell. And that's where it's like integrate this Capricorn, integrate the age of Pisces, which was all about discovering the self, and embody it. And then the next thing we have, and it's like after this big explosion, we have Venus entering Capricorn. And that is like, I feel like that's the medicine. It's like love. Venus in Capricorn is like deep love, is mountain love. It's like love, don't love on a surface level, love from your truth. And again, that's the key. And then straight after that, on the 25th, we have the full moon in Leo, this very, very activatory, very powerful full moon. But as soon as I tuned into it, my guides were like, healing the wounds of Atlantis, completing, you know, Leo is the age of Atlantis, or the age of Atlantis was the age of Leo. And so, you know, there's this, and there's also a sun and a moon T-square, so there's this like tension between the masculine and the feminine, which is the ultimate wound of Atlantis. And you know, there's this completion energy, that separation is being completed, is being actualized, is being turned into a new expansion. It's a very, very powerful moon for manifestation, for healing into manifestation, for calling in true leadership. There's a lot of leadership energy in January. It's very, very decisive. You know, decision and choice is so important because that's you exercising your sovereignty. And then on the 27th, the last astrological thing of the month, we have Uranus leaving retrograde. And Uranus is like revolution and freedom and free thinking and the wild card. And so there is this sense by the end of the month of like electric freedom, of total freedom, of liberation from all of that like top down power, Capricorn. And to me, this is the map for the year. Like January is just giving us a like um a journey for the year. And so by the end of the year, or maybe into 25, that revolution energy is going to be so there. And also what it means is that once Uranus leaves retrograde, then we have no retrogrades until the 1st of April. So we've got this like total flow, expansive, manifesting, powerful, beautiful, abundant, flowful time ahead. And so just to summarize January before we go into the year. January is about decision. It's about intention into action. It's about faith. And it's about truth. And deep love. And being the change. Being inside the change. Surrendering to the change. Committing to the change. And I feel like the intentions that you set in January, and I don't normally say this actually, normally I'm like, January is like this wrapping up month. It's not like that this time. The intentions you set in January are like power for the year that you have ahead. So it is a really good time to be manifesting and gearing up and leveling up. It's amazing. And then, what are we going to do now? I want to, in fact, if you would like to work with truth this January, then oh, sorry. So if you would like to work with truth this January, if you're resonating, then the journey that I was getting super excited about, because it's literally, it starts on the 4th. We get to the main bit of the land on the 13th. We do the big responsibility bit literally the 9th of the 10th, and under the new moon energy. We move in on the 13th to the next bit. It's just amazing. Like what's happening in the sky and what we're doing in Egypt is so aligned. And so we're doing this land work journey to Egypt that, yeah, out of all the land work I've ever tuned into, I've never known anything quite like it. And it is working with a mountain. So all of this making up the mountain is so important. And the guides have said that people that want to be part of the field and support the collective work, which is really a release of distortion and an activation of higher truth and true voice and true self and golden thread, they can come in and be part of the field, and they will be given guidance for how they can support collective, and also they will receive everything. And so, and the journey is called New Beginnings. And I will say that I have done so many years of land work. I love land work. And this has profoundly changed me, almost beyond recognition. Like things that used to trigger my nervous system just don't. It's like it's freed me from so much noise. And so within it, you'll be held in the field. You'll get some of the recordings live from where we are. There might even be some actual lives if we can get the Wi-Fi. You'll just be part of the journey, and most importantly, energetically. but you will also get bits and there's a meditation and everything like that. It's by donation, and I feel like you will feel it, to be honest with you. Like with this one, if you feel the power, then come and join. Like, because that, yeah. You'll feel it. If you're feeling that golden energy, then it's the right thing for you to join. And it's going to be such a powerful new beginning into authenticity, which is that sovereignty, which is, which is that key to, like I said, the journey ends on the Kazimi. So it is that key to, and that's what all of the mountain landwork I've been doing is like making sure, guides, making sure that it doesn't go into that other version of Aquaria that is not so fun, that it goes into this community-based, sovereignty-based experience of oneness within the dance of sovereignty and deep love. And so that's happening. So you can click and it will open up into another tab. Now I would like to talk just a little bit about 2024. And the first thing I'll say is it's an 8-year, which is infinity and abundance and ease and strength and soul. It's also beginning and ending. It is beginning. It's again, it's like two worlds coming next to each other. This is the year. This is the year where they don't just come next to each other, timelines flip, everything changes. Like I said, David Nicol, who was just on my podcast, May the Life Force Be With You, and is an amazing astrologer. He was like, by the end of 24 to the beginning of 25, every major planet changes signs. And he was like, that's unheard of in astrology. That everything will be different by the end of 25. So this is it. And that is also true for everything that's been channeled. We're in the midway point now, from 2012 to 2033. We're in the process where the figure of 8 happens. We're in the crossover, and it's happening astrologically. It's epic. And so the key astrological events of 24, and obviously in Magic Month we will go into all of them as they come up through the month. But every single one of them is about embodiment. Like, if you don't embody, if you don't get in your body, if you don't realize this and authenticate this, then you're going to be out of alignment. So this is about the spiritual, the conceptual, the new earth vision embodying. Because the body is also the cross point in the figure of 8. Between land and soul, life and soul is the body. And so I'm just going to go through some of the major things so you just get a flavor. So the first one, we'll talk more about it in February, but it does actually start in January. the North Node, and the North Node, like I said, is destiny. It's like where we're going, is conjunct with Chiron, and Chiron is the wounded healer. So Chiron is the human, the wounded healer on the planet that never heals, that is always healing, that is always in the alchemy process of life. And the complete alignment is in February, so we'll talk about it more in February, East Magic Month. But what that means is these first 4 months of the year are, when I've tuned into it, it's like, you know, your wounds create your path. They create your destiny, essentially. They are the seeds of your destiny. You know, they are the manure of your destiny. They are the thing that generates your destiny. And this conjunction is like the wounds birthing the destiny. It's like all of that wound work and shadow work and healing work that you've done. This is where it actually starts to fully embody and show up. It's such a powerful time for healing yourself into the next level. Absolutely, compassion is so important because it's a highly sensitive time. It's like we're all going to be feeling our destiny and our wounds rubbing up against each other inside of ourselves. And then March to May, we have Jupiter conjunct Uranus, which is probably the most significant alignment of 24. Jupiter is path and abundance, and Uranus is radical freedom and radical, you know, they're both expansive, and they are coming together in Taurus. So they come together every like 12 to 14 years, but it is so rare for them both to be in Taurus. And you know, Taurus is all about embodiment. It is all about the grounded root chakra, physical reality and the pleasures of life. And so, you know, this conjunction is happening through the body. It's like, once again, through the body, you know, embody. And this is about embodying expansion, embodying the new, embodying total new vision of our paths. The Jupiter and Uranus is like total innovation, you know, like and also a lot of instability, I have to say. Like, it's about things aligning and manifesting and miracles happening, as opposed to steady growth. You know, that is what we're all kind of used to. And then in May, Jupiter enters Gemini, which is a huge shift. That is, for the first time in 12 years, Jupiter's going to be in Gemini. And Jupiter in Gemini is that figure of 8. It's all about body and soul. It's all about, like, is your path and your body aligned? Are you loving your life? Are you loving your purpose? It's all about the two, you know, the twins. One is mortal and the other is immortal. And it's about, yeah, the body and the soul. And finding the balance between the two, between the spiritual and the material, between the sovereignty and the oneness. It's absolutely wonderful for communication and expansion of all expression, you know, and especially if you're expressing yourself. So there's that truth again. It's like full-bodied truth. And so all of these things, they are like so expansive. Expansion absolutely is the key for this year. There's so much Jupiter this year. It's like path. From July to December, you have Jupiter square Saturn. And Jupiter square Saturn. So Saturn is law and order, and the great order, the great turning of the seasons. And Jupiter is abundance, and Saturn brings things right. It brings karma background. But what's so important about this is this particular square. It's like it's going to reactivate the great conjunction that happened on the solstice in 2020, which in many ways was you got to connect back to that solstice, because that solstice and the great conjunction then was another one of those ascension moments, and in a way it was the awakening of Christ consciousness for all. I remember the big message from then, from the ceremonies we were doing, was like, believe in humanity. That was the message. And this year is all about believing. It is all about believing. And Jupiter can be a bit excessive. Saturn brings it all into order. And so this is also about like getting rid of what's not yours, really aligning behind what you truly believe in, and aligning behind compassion for all. Beautiful, beautiful. That takes us through to the end of the year. And then in November we have the full move. So the move of Pluto into Aquarius in January is temporary. Then it moves back to Capricorn for the last time. And then Pluto enters Aquarius and is there for 25 years. And so this year is the last chance to do that healing work on hierarchy, on top-down power, on all of that, the final dregs of what needs to be exposed in all of that hierarchical system is going to come up and come out this year. It's the last healing wave. It's the last healing ripple. That November 24 till March 2043, Pluto will be in Aquarius. Birthing, because it's rebirth, birthing the age of Aquarius. And the age of Aquarius is up to us to choose whether we go lemmings or whether we go sovereignty, oneness, community. That's up to us. It's happening, but where we go on the range is up to us. And then from October right through until 25, we have Mars retrograde, which is the rarest of the retrogrades. And so there is an invitation. Mars is the warrior, and I think many of you will resonate that there's just been this warrior journey in the last few years of like, we will keep battling, we will keep fighting, we will get through all of the noise. And yeah. Mars retrograde, rarest retrograde, Mars is planet of action and motivation. Now it's time to rest. So by the end of the year, it's like now you have to surrender to the feminine and allow. And that allowance and that space is so important, because the space, grounding and space are so, so important this year, because the energy is so expansive. And if your nervous system is going to be able to hold all of this new, you've got to keep connecting into the earth. We'll do it at the end. You've got to keep connecting into the earth. You've got to keep grounding. Otherwise, you won't. Otherwise, you'll be in overwhelm. And we'll do something for that at the end, because it is, the fact that the fact that Mars is retrograding is saying, like, yes, all of this expansion, all of this new direction, all of this change, but remember to rest. Again, you can't embody if you don't rest. So 24, embodiment of abundance, embodiment of path, embodiment of soul and body in balance, embodiment of Christ consciousness, and then embody. It's so amazing. It's like all about the physical realization of everything so many people have been dreaming and holding and working for. It's epic. And so we will do a embodiment thing, but if just to tell you about one other thing. So if you have not listened to May the Life Force Be With You, then you absolutely should. It's my new podcast, and it's really amazing. We're speaking to some really amazing people, and David's episode is up. If you click the find out more link, David's episode, which is where he talks, he's far more knowledgeable of astrology than I am, and he talks in such an amazing way about astrology in general. He touches into 24, and it's just an amazing episode called Bend It Like Pluto. And what we've started, because life force is just the key to everything. Like, if you don't have your life force, doesn't matter how much money you have, and especially in what's about to happen with Capricorn and everything like that, your life force is your miracle manifesting power. It is your charisma. It is everything. And the deeper I go with this conversation about life force, the more I just bow to it. And so me and Fiona, who hosts May the Life Force Be With You, every conversation we're like, we want to go deeper with people. We want to go deeper with people. And so we have started the Life Force Cafe, which is like a opportunity for people listening to go deeper with both me, Fiona, and with the guests. And our first guest is going to be David, and he is going to do a deep experiential astrology tune in to 24, which is one of the most important years astrologically ever. So, and the Life Force Cafe is really affordable, an amazing resource. And yeah, you can also leave it at any time. So if you just want to pay for David's and then leave, you absolutely can. But yeah, join the Life Force Cafe because it is our most precious resource. And so David's date for January is going to be the end of January. It's not up yet, but it's 100% happening. That's our first guest, and then our next guest is Marcello, who's amazing. Who's not out on the podcast yet, but he's amazing. His podcast is amazing. That's on the beginning of January as well. And so I'm going to pull us a card, and then we're going to do just a little tune in. And thank you guys for your help with Egypt. So the card I've pulled is Awakening. That's what this year is all about. And it says, "Oh my Lord, wake me up from life as a spiritual sheep." We're not going into the lemmings world. May I hear you through your own sense, your own instincts and common sense. And those of you that know more about Egypt are going to know why I want to cry, because where we're working in Egypt is the throat chakra. It is all about sacred communication and hearing God, true God. It's happening. It's happening. So, to close, just allow yourself first Just to share how you feeling about 24 now you've had the forecast. How you feeling about January? What are your intentions? I would say one of the greatest intentions to have, if you don't know what intention to have, is celebration. Because celebration, grief and celebration are two flows of the same energy. And celebration is a very life force giving way of letting go. And we have to let go in 24. That is the bit that's going to be hard unless you're in celebration, is the non-attachment that is about to happen. The other thing I would say is body love is coming in March. So if you want to do, the sky has said how important body is. Body love is amazing. If you haven't done it, it is just the only way I know how to embody your higher self. It has completely transformed my life, and it's amazing. So look out for body love there. If you join my newsletter, there will be all sorts of body love things coming up when I get back from Egypt. So yeah. And I like your words, and I like that you're excited, and it's amazing. All amazing, I agree. Here we go, guys. We have liftoff. So, closing your eyes. And one of the things we really struggle with is expansion. We spend a lot of energy resisting expansion. And this year's gonna enforce expansion. And why we spend a lot of energy resisting it is because we feel like we can't hold it. We're so not comfortable with more. And so I invite you now to close your eyes and to open your hearts to Gaia, to the Great Mother. Know that when you truly rest, when you truly come into Shavasana, you become one with the body of the earth. And then you're as big as she is. And you can hold it. Because you're one with her body. As you drop in, to being one with her body, you let your nervous system connect to the roots and the mycelium. That will help you to hold All of these new quotients of light and solar flare are necessary for this change. And know that as your nervous system plugs into the E system, the system of nature, know that your energy can calm down. Anywhere there's too much energy, for you to hold can be released. Know that there is more space inside of you. And when you connect to that space, notice that that space is also able to say yes. To say yes to your next level. To say yes to your expansion. To say yes. And breathing in love. And breathing out gratitude. Notice that you are ready. That in your rest, you are ready. And when you are ready, opening your eyes and coming in to the room. It's going to be an amazing year. If you are local to Brighton on the 1st, then join me and Grazia. We're doing Sweat and Sound. Start the year in ceremony. I always think it's amazing to start ceremonially, especially a year like this. Like, don't start hungover, please. Like, start clear, start flowful, start ready. And yeah, have a very, very, very happy New Year and a very blessed New Year's Eve. And I really am sending you so much love and so many blessings and so much support and yeah, just delight. Mwah. Bye, my darlings. Thank you so much.